Every time I sculpt, both in Blender and ZBrush, I'm continually switching between sculpting and smoothing. Fortunately, in both programs, I can do it without switching tools. I simply press the Shift key while sculpting to temporarily activate the smoothing tool. What does happen in Blender, unlike ZBrush, is that in order to change the strength of the smoothing, I must stop sculpting, switch to the smoothing tool, change its strength, and then I can return to the sculpting tool. I have to do this over and over, and it's quite annoying. Something to also take into account is that Blender uses exclusively the brush called Smooth to do the smoothing by pressing the Shift key. I will switch to the smoothing tool and I'm going to set its strength to its maximum. Then I'm going to assign to the smoothing tool other than the original brush, a copy of it, and I'm going to assign to this brush's strength a value of 0.
Do you really think they'll understand your English?
Of course they will. When I try to smooth with this brush, nothing happens because its strength is set to 0. But what happens if I go back to the sculpting tool and try to smooth by using the Shift key? Nothing should happen either, but it's not like this. The smoothing keeps working. This is so because the brush to which we set the 0 strength was the new one. The brush called Smooth is still having the maximum strength, and that brush is the one that is used when we press the Shift key. Moreover, if we rename the original brush so that there is no brush called Smooth anymore, the way of smoothing by pressing the Shift key stops working. Even though we press Shift, the pen keeps sculpting, and Blender does not give us any clue of what is happening. It's enough to rename back the brush to Smooth and the problem is solved.
I don't think they understand what you're saying.
Of course they do. They are watching the pointer. They aren't listening what I'm saying. I will activate a very simple add-on that I have developed in Python, which I call Smooth Brush Strength Control,
¿Cómo?
and is located in the interface category. After activating it, a new control appears in the Blender's top bar, with which you can adjust the smoothing brush strength without having to switch tools, like in ZBrush. The same control also shows up in the context menu that opens when you press the right button of the mouse. The adjustment is always performed on the brush called Smooth, which is the one which Blender uses to smooth when we press the Shift key. If there is no brush with that name, or it has been renamed, the add-on will alert the user that both my script and the ability of smoothing by using the Shift key will be disabled. Like before, as soon as a smoothing brush with the correct name is found again, the control of my add-on will reappear, and Blender will re-enable the smoothing when we sculpt while pressing the Shift key. The add-on can be installed by using the Preferences dialog box of Blender. It consists of a single file and it's very lightweight. Most of the code is about errors control and many comments, so you can see how it works. Instead of installing it, you can open the file in the text editor of Blender and click on the Run icon, although in the latter case, the new controls will be active only during the current Blender session. You can download it from my website, tonygodoy.com. As in most of my articles, there is the Spanish and the English version. Download it by clicking on this link, and I would appreciate it if you leave a comment after trying it out. And also, if you like it, if you could, for buying a decent microphone for the
And
next
to pay an
video.
English teacher too.
Thank you.